Hi, this is Diana from Yarn Eddie's Crochet, and if you need a quick warm beanie pattern with a ribbed fold-up brim that you can make in about 2.5 to 3 hours, this is the video for you. This is the worsted weight fold-up brim pattern design. The adjustable fold-up brim will keep your ears warm, great for gifting, donating, selling, and this pattern uses a top-down construction. You start with the crown, you work the body, and then, let me unfold this, then you work the ribbed bottom brim that folds up. Follow along, and there is a free PDF instructional guide that will be linked in the pinned comment, and the pattern and tutorial instructions use US terms. This is a beginner-friendly pattern, and my instructions are not perfect, but they help me, so I wanted to share it. Plus, it's free. So this is a copy of the pattern. This is what it looks like. You're going to get all of the supplies, the amount of yarn you need, the finished dimensions, gauge, and round by round instructions. Plus, you're going to get, if you use this with a device, you will have links within the pattern so that you can click on the link and it will take you right to the point in the video where you need that specific support for that round. So also, if you're a beginner, use the gear icon if you need to slow down the playback speed. And as always, I include timestamps in the description box so that you can go back to specific sections and rewatch if you need to. So also, if you would, please like and subscribe so others needing help learning to crochet can find my content. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get started. This tutorial will be in a woman's size medium, but stick to the end because I will provide you with specific instructions on how to make a size small and a size large. Today we are using Bernat Super Value Wisteria to make our hat. I already have a mess with my yarn. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need an 5mm or H crochet hook. You're going to need something to measure your crown so you can make sure your progress is correct. And you're going to need a yarn needle to finish up your tails. So let me put these items aside and let's get started. So I start my hats with a magic circle. I will demonstrate that, but if you do not want to do a magic circle, you can also use a chain 4 or chain 3 and slip stitch to form a ring. But you're going to need to form a ring because we're going to be crocheting into the ring. To start off, you're going to work a chain 1, and into the ring you are going to work 12 double crochet stitches. So go ahead and work your 12 double crochet stitches, and I will meet you at the end for the join, for the slip stitch join. Okay, I've completed my 12 double crochet. I've tightened up my ring a little bit by pulling on the tail. Now I'm going to slip stitch join into the very first double crochet. Tighten up my slip stitch, and I'm going to tighten up my magic circle just a little more. And now I am ready for round 2. In round 2, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to work 2 double crochets in each stitch around. Since you started off with 12 double crochet, after you finish round 2, you will have 24 double crochet. So go ahead and work your 2 double crochet into each stitch around, and I will meet you at the end for the join. Okay, I've completed my 24 double crochet stitches, and I'm going to slip stitch into the very first double, And now we are ready to start round 3. For round 3, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to double crochet into the first stitch. Then you're going to work 2 double crochets into the next. This is the pattern you're going to repeat all the way around for round 3. 1 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochet in the next. So the pattern is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So at the end of this round, you're going to have 36 double crochets. So go ahead and complete this round, and I will meet you at the end for the join. Okay, I've completed my 36 double crochets. I'm going to slip stitch join into the top of the very first double. And now we are ready to start round 4. Round 4, chain up 1. In the first stitch, you're going to work 2 double crochets. Work 1 double in the next, 1 double in the next. So that's the pattern. 2 in the next, then 1 in the next, and 1 in the next. So go ahead and continue that sequence of stitches all the way around to the end, and I will meet you for the join. Okay, I've completed round 4, and I should have a total of 48 double crochets in round 4. I'm going to slip stitch join to the very first stitch. Now I'm ready to start round 5. Round 5 is a no increase round. All you do is you start with a chain 1, and you work 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So since your last round had 48 double crochets, round 5 will also have 48 double crochets. So go ahead and finish that round, and I will meet you at the end for the join. Okay, I've finished round 5. I have a total of 48 double crochets all the way around, and I'm going to slip stitch join to the very first stitch. And now we're ready to start round 6. In round 6, you're going to complete 1 chain, and then you're going to double crochet in the first 3 stitches of the round. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now in the next stitch, you're going to work 2 doubles. So that's the pattern. You work 1 double in each of the next 3 stitches, and then in the next you work 2 doubles. So go ahead and continue that sequence of stitches all the way around, and I will meet you at the end for the join. Okay, I finished round 6, and I have a total of 60 double crochets all the way around. I'm going to slip stitch to join in my first double crochet. And now we're ready to start round 7, which is the final round of the crown. So you're going to chain 1. You're going to work 2 double crochets into the first stitch. And then you're going to work a double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. I'm going to double check here. See, there's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to work 1 more. And that's the pattern. 2 in the next, 1 in each of the next 5 stitches. There's 2, 3, whoops, 3, 4, and 5. At the end of this round, you should have a total of 70 double crochet stitches. So go ahead and follow that same stitch sequence, and I will meet you at the end for the join. Okay, I finished round 7 for my size medium hat. I'm going to slip stitch to join, and I should have a total of 70 double crochets all the way around. And I'm going to quickly measure my crown. It should measure approximately 7.5 inches, hopefully. if my gauge has remained steady. It's about between 7.5 and 8 inches. Let me measure one more time. Yeah, about 7.5, maybe a little bit more inches for the crown. So I'm on track. Now, if you would like to make a size large hat, it's round 7 that you would make your adjustments. So for a size large and for a size medium, you have 70 double crochets all the way around. For a size large, you have 72. So I've made adjusted stitch counts and how you complete the repeats. If you need this information, go ahead and screenshot it because it is not in the free written PDF. If you would like to make a size small, I take the total stitch count down to 68 double crochets. And again, for round 7, I have made adjustments in where you complete the increases and how you do the repeats. So if you need the information for a size small, go ahead and screenshot that because again, this is not included in the printable PDF. All right, so now that we have completed round 7, we are finished with the crown. And the next part is to start the body of the hat. So to complete the body of the hat, all you're going to do is start with a chain 1, and you're going to work 1 double crochet into each stitch around. And you're going to do this for approximately 7 rounds. Now, I advise you to use a stitch marker to mark your first, somewhere around one of the stitches of this first round of the hat body. It will make it a lot easier to count your rounds as you go along. So go ahead and complete the next 7 rounds for the hat body, and I will meet you at the end for the join, and then we will start the ribbing for the fold up portion of the hat. Okay, I have finished my 7 body rounds, and I used my stitch marker at my first body round to help me count the rounds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to slip stitch to join in the very first stitch. And now I'm going to remove my hook because we're going to start the ribbing for the fold up brim. Turn your hat inside out. And have your hat facing you in this direction. So you're looking at your loop and your working yarn. And we're going to move the working yarn to the back of the work like that. And do you see how I laid that working yarn in back? We're going to start our ribbing, and we're going to start with a chain of 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, if you look at your chain, you have these beautiful V's on one side, and then on the other side, you have these bumps. And in the second stitch or the second bump from your hook, you're going to insert your hook and you're going to work a single crochet. In every little back bump down this chain that you just made, you're going to work a single crochet. So you're going to have a total of 15 single crochets when you're finished with this first row of your ribbing. So go ahead and complete your 15 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end for the next part. Okay, I've finished my 15 single crochets, and I've made my way back to the edge of the hat. Now, what you do next is into this next stitch on the very edge, you're going to insert your hook and make a slip stitch. Go to the next stitch and make another slip stitch. So you have this you have this row of 15 single crochet stitches. Then you have these 2 slip stitches in the next 2 double crochet stitches. Now you're going to turn your work, and I want you to turn your work the same way every time. So you're going to turn your work so that your working yarn is behind you. I don't want your working yarn in front of you like this. I don't want it in front. I want it behind you like this. With every single row, you want your working yarn behind you. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to skip these first 2 chains that you made. There's one, or slip stitches, sorry. Here's the first slip stitch. Here's the second slip stitch. Now you're going to single crochet, back loop only, into that first single crochet, but only in the back loop. So you're going to insert your hook in the first single crochet. You're skipping the slip stitches. Go into the back loop and do a back loop only, single crochet, back loop only. You're going to do a back loop only single crochet in every single crochet down the first row. So you're going to have a total of 15 back loop only single crochets. So go ahead and complete that row 2 of the ribbing, and I will meet you at the very end for the next step. I've completed my last back loop only single crochet. I'm going to tighten up my loop a little bit on my hook. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. As I said before, you're going to chain this, or you're going to turn your work the same direction every time so that your working yarn is behind the hook, not in front, but behind. So you have this chain, and now you're going to work a single crochet, a half double single crochet in that very first stitch, and in each stitch down the row. At the end, you're going to have 15 back loop only single crochet. Go ahead and complete row 3 of the ribbing, and I'll meet you at the end for the next step. Okay, I've completed those 15 back loop only single crochets, and now we're going to do 2 slip stitches. Do not slip stitch into this very first one, because this was the stitch in which you made the previous row. Do not slip stitch into here. You're going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches, because you've already worked into this stitch right here. So you need to work a slip stitch into the next, and a slip stitch into the next. Then, as I said before, turn your work so that your working yarn is behind you. And now you're ready to start the next row of ribbing. Now it can get tricky to see the back loop of this final stitch. If you're struggling to see that stitch, mark it with a stitch marker so you do not skip it. It's very important that each row of ribbing have the exact number of stitches, the 15 stitches. Don't forget your chain at the end of the row. So go ahead, you're going to complete this these rows of of back loop single crochet stitches all the way around the edge of your hat. And then go ahead and work all those rows, and I will meet you at the end, and I will show you how to attach the 2 ends of your ribbing together using a mattress stitch. So go ahead and complete that. It might take you about an hour to complete that, but go ahead and do that, and I will meet you at the end for the joining of the 2 sides of the ribbing. Okay, I finished all of my rows of ribbing, and the very last row that you complete, if you finish off with a row where you normally would do a chain one at the end of the row, do not complete that chain, just fasten off. But do fasten off with a long tail, because you're going to be using that tail to sew the two ends together using the mattress stitch. Okay, so I have fastened off and I have my long tail. Now, before I attach the two ends, I'm going to, hello Gracie, I'm going to put my hat right side out again. And right here I have, this is the right side of my hat. And we're going to be sewing using the mattress stitch right down this edge and sewing these two edges together. So you're going to need your yarn needle. I like to use a bent tipped yarn needle. And this is a great process because it becomes virtually invisible. So what you do is you take the two loops from the, if you go into the V's of the first row that you made, and you're going to just pull your yarn through those two loops. Then you're going to go on the other side, and coming from behind, you're going to run, or you're going to insert your needle and stitch through the other side. Coming from under, catch two loops of the other of that first row, stitch. Now coming from under, again on the other side of that last row that you just made, run another stitch. And then we're going to gently pull, and you will notice that you don't even see the stitch that you used to sew those two ends together. You're going to continue this process, and you're working from behind or under the stitch. You're not working from the top, you're working from under that stitch. You work a few stitches and then pull it tight. I'm going to continue working my mattress stitches all the way down until I get to the edge of my hat. Okay, I finished doing my actual sewing, and now I'm going to bury the tail in the stitches before I cut it off. Okay, I finished my sewing. Now My camera stopped. Sorry about that. So if I flip it to the inside, or I flip up, I should say, my brim, my hat is complete, other than weaving my tail at the top of the crown. So, like I said before, if you find this information in this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you need a faster beanie project, I do have a chunky beanie design, which is a super fast. You can make those hats in about an hour. I also create left-handed versions of all of my videos. So if you need a left-handed version, you can check the link for the playlist in the show notes. And if you're a beginner, don't give up. You're doing better than you think.